Hello, greeting to Miss or Madam Nur Azrin binti Abdul Razak, our SMS1024 lecture, and all of my group members. Today, our group will be present the SMS assignment, and the title that we choose for this assignment is the sport activity among Malaysians. But before that, I could like to introduce my group member first. The first person is Nur Sofia binti Takirul Anwar, and the second person is Wan Nur Sarah Kristina binti Wan Abdullah, and the third person is Nelly Karissa binti Yusni, and the last person is me, which is the name that given is Kostika Richpul. Well, in this assignment, my group member will be explained it by each chapter, which is for the chapter 1 and chapter 2, I will be explaining it, and for the chapter 3, it's about the data description. Nelly Karissa binti Yusni will be explaining it, and for the chapter 4, it's about probability. Wan Nur Sarah Kristina will be explaining it, and for the chapter 5, 6, and 7, Nur Sofia will be presenting. So, let's go! So, in this assignment, it has a 3 objectives. The first one is to identify the amount of persons by types of gender who respond to Google form, and the second one is to determine the most popular or favorite sport activities among Malaysians, and the last one is to investigate the relationship between the types of sport and types of gender. Well, here the instrument that we use to do analyze or to finish this assignment is using by questionnaire instrument and Google form. So this is the list of questions for sport activity among Malaysian, which is we have 9 questions. The first one is types of gender. The second one is about what is your age. The third one is what is your occupation. And fourth, what is your sport type? Fifth, do you play sport as? 6, how many required player? 7, what time do you play? 8, how long do you play? 9, how frequently you play? So that's all for the list of questions. So we go to the next chapter or the next slide. So the first chapter that I will explain or present is about the introduction of statistics. What we know about statistics? Formally, statistics is about the collection or the interpretation of data, which is statistic is consists with the 2 types. The first one is inferential statistic, and the second one is descriptive statistic. Well, for the inferential statistic, it is defined as a method that generalizing a population based on the sample result, performing estimation and testing the hypothesis by determining the relationship and correlation among variables. Well, we go to the descriptive statistic, which is the definition of the descriptive statistic is a method for organizing, displaying, and describing the data by using tables, graphs, and summary measure. So, the types of statistic here is, for this assignment, is population, which is population from Malaysian people who respond the sport activity Google form. Well, that's all for the chapter 1. So we continue it to the next chapter, chapter 2, which is it's about organizing and grouping data. Well, so here we could see inside this table there's two types of gender, which is for male, the frequency for male is 8%, and for the frequency for female is 69% out of 77% that who respond the Google form. And then here you guys can see all of the data. I'll present it in terms of pie chart. So the data that I represent is nominal scale, such as a gender considered to be qualitative data, or known as categorical data, which is this value that places into a different group or category, which is male and female. The survey result in 89.6% of Malaysians among the gender of female was more concerned playing sport activities. Meanwhile, for male, the result is 0.4% only. So we go to the questions 2. It's about age. Age among Malaysians that playing sport activity. Here we have been done the table and following by age range, which is we have a 3 age range, start from below 18 until 23, and the last one is above 35. And here we could see the frequency for the age range below 18, the frequency is 7%, and for the age range 18 until 23, the frequency is 66, and the last one for the age range above 35, only 4 persons give a response. Well, the survey result in 86% of Malaysians among the range 18 until 23 years old was more concerned about sport activity. Age is an example of quantitative variable because it is continuous data. If we look for the exact age, it also makes sense to think about its numerical form, that a person can be 80 years old or 35 years old. So here is the display or the analysis of the data for age range, and I'm using a bar chart so you guys can see it here. This is the result. So that's all for age, and then we go to the next slide. It's about in this slide I will be talk about the preferred frequency playing sport activities among Malaysians. So we could see here the table. The table shows that it have a 5 types frequency of playing in sport activity, which is it consists of never, rarely, sometimes, frequently, and very frequent. So you guys can see it here, the frequency, the result for the frequency, which is the most higher frequency of play is sometimes, which is 44%, and for rarely and frequently have the same frequency, which is 15, and for the frequent, the last one is about very frequent, only 3%. So you guys can see this is the analysis for the whole table, or for the whole frequency that I got from the table. And you could see for sometimes we got 57.1%, for frequently 90.5%, never zero, rarely, and rarely we got 90.5%. And for the very frequently we got 3.9%. So that's all for the frequency playing or sport activity among Malaysians. So we go to the next question. It's about the time that a person spend to do a sport activity. Here you guys can see this is the table that a person that spend their time to play sport activity. So, and then this is the analysis for the data, which is the most higher or the most many frequency time that spent is 1.1 hour until 2 hours, which is 37% who spend time with it. So we go to the next slide. So in this next slide, it's about the preferred types of sport among Malaysians. So here we have 9 sport activity, which is consists with netball, badminton, rugby, cycling, swimming, basketball, volleyball, jogging, and others. Well, here the higher frequency is badminton, which is it has 38 persons who respond, and for the lower frequency that we could see from this table is fall to rugby, cycling, and swimming, which is only got 2%. So we go to the next slide. In this next slide, it shows the analyze or displaying for the data from the data that I have been converted from the table into a pie chart. So we could see here the badminton sport activity got 49.4%, and for the rugby 2.6%, and same with cycling and swimming. For the netball we got 13%, other 15.6%, and for the volleyball we got 3.9%, and the last one is basketball, we got 6.5%. So go to the next slide. It's about the preferred reason why Malaysians play sport games. It is consists of two types of passion or a reason. Two types of reason why Malaysians do sport activity. The first one is about a passion. The second one is about hobby, which is the frequency for passion is 11, and for the frequency for hobby is 66% out of 77 respond. Then we could see here, this is the displaying data from the table that we got all the result. Here we could see the percentage that hobby got 85.7%. For a passion we got 14.3%. So that's all for the organizing and graphing data. Well, I will pass it to the next presenter, which is about data description, chapter 3, and Nelly Carissa binti Husni will be explaining it more briefly. Thank you.
Hi, I am Nelly Carissa. I will present topic 3, which is data description, measurement central tendency, where we need to calculate mean, median, and mode. So here is the age range data that we choose for this topic. So this is the result of data that has been collected based on the form of table. So the first one, we need to find mean. So here is the formula. Sum of midpoint multiplied by the frequency and divided by the sum of the frequency. So the mean that we got is 20.9. So next we got median. So that is the formula for the median. LM stand for lowest boundaries of the class. WM stand for width of the class. FM stand for frequency in the class. And N stand for total number of frequency. And last but not least, sum of FM, which is cumulative number of frequency. So after the calculate, the total we got is 93.25. So next we got mode. From the frequency distribution table, the model class is midpoint of the class with highest frequency is the second class, which consists of 18 to 23. Therefore, the mode for this group of the age range among Malaysian that playing sport activity is 20.5. So next, we go to measurement of variation and dispersion, where we need to find variance and standard deviation. So here is the data that we got to calculate variance and standard deviation. So variance, here is the formula for the variance. The sum of the midpoint squared times the frequency, and then minus sum of midpoint and the square frequency divided by the sum of frequency, then the result divided by the sum of frequency. So the total that we get is 892.704. So next, for the standard deviation, we just need to square the result of the variance. So the result that we got is 29.878. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, hi, I'm Sarah and I'm going to present my part, which is probability. So type of sport, we have 9 options: badminton as B, netball as N, cycling as C, swimming as S, basketball as BB, volleyball as V, jogging as J, rugby as R, and others as O. Data divided by 2, which is female and male. Total of female is 69 and total of male is 8. The total is 77. For beginner probability, probability of female is 0.90, probability of male is 0.10, probability of badminton is 0.49, probability of netball is 0.13, probability of cycling is 0.03, probability of swimming is 0.03, probability of basketball is 0.06, probability of volleyball is 0.04, probability of jogging is 0.04, probability of rugby is 0.03, and probability of the others is 0.16. So this is the chart bar, and that's how the data turned out. For conditional probability, we calculate probability of B, which is badminton given male. The answer is 0.25. Then we calculate probability of B given female. The answer is 0.52. For independent versus dependent, we can find out female and O are dependent or independent. The N, we calculate the probability of female given O and the probability of female. We got 1 for probability of female given O and got 0.90 for probability of female. 1 and 0.90 are not equal, so the two events are dependent. Then, we will find if S and male are dependent or independent. The answer for probability S given male is 1.25 and the answer for the probability of S is 0.13. 1.25 and 0.13 are not equal, so the two events are dependent. Intersection of event, probability of N and female is same like probability of N intersect female to get the answer. We need to find probability of N multiply probability of female given N. The answer is 0.13. Secondly, the answer for the probability of H intersect male is 0.02. Probability of union events, probability of BB or female is same like probability of BB union female to get the answer. We need to find the probability of BB plus the probability of the female minus the probability of our intersect female, and the answer is 0.91. Next, the answer for the probability of B union male is 0.57. Number 3, the answer for the probability of J union mean is 0.13. And number 4, the answer for the probability V union female is 0.91.
Probability distribution. First one, we will discuss about binomial probability distribution. First question. There are 11 UPSI students who make sport as their patient. 20% of them did not succeed in making sport as patient due to academic constraint. Find the probability that 6 students will succeed in becoming an athlete. Find the mean, variance, and standard deviation. So this is the formula of binomial probability distribution. First step, we need to find out the N, P, Q, and X. So N11, P 0.8, Q 0.2, and X C. The answer of first question is 0.03876. Next, mean. Mean of binomial probability distribution is NP. 11, 0.8 equal to 8.8. Variance and PQ. 11, 0.8, 0.2 equal to 1.76. Last one, standard deviation. Standard deviation, square root and PQ. Square root 1.76 equal to 1.33. Poisson probability distribution. An average 10 students play sport for 2 hours and a half until 3 hours a day. Find the probability of 2 students who play sport exactly 3 hours a day. Find mean, variance, and standard deviation. So this is the formula of Poisson probability distribution. We need to find out the lambda and x. Lambda is 10, x 2. So the answer of probability is 50. Mean of Poisson probability distribution is lambda. Lambda 10. Variance of Poisson probability distribution is also lambda. So lambda equal to 10. Standard deviation is square root lambda. Square root lambda equal to 3.16. Next, normal probability distribution. This is the curve of normal probability distribution of mu 21 sigma 5. X1 is 18, x2 is 23. Next, the standard normal distribution. So this is the formula to convert normal probability to standard normal distribution. Z1, 18 minus 21 per 2 equal to negative 1.5. Z2, 23 minus 21 per 2 equal to 1. So this is the curve of standard normal distribution, and the area of the standard normal distribution is 77.45%. Thank you.